Justice League Dark, issue number 2 from DC Comics, What Lurks Within the Tower of Fate. So I've been enjoying this series so far. I know it's only 2 issues, but it's been a pretty good 2 issues. So yeah, let's just jump right into it, actually. So we start off with Diana, Wonder Woman. 12 years of age, she basically snuck out of her village, and she's going into lands that she's not supposed to. Basically, she goes to see the witch women, who are basically doing some kind of naked ritual dance where they're fusing their body together. It's actually pretty horrifying. And I guess they're summoning some kind of creature because they're all dancing around this giant jar, and out of the jar comes this dark, powerful entity who apparently wants Diane for something. So the witch women chase her down, grab her, and then the entity brands Diana in the forehead. And then we cut to the present day. And I gotta say, I'm not the biggest fan of Wonder Woman, and I'm not all that knowledgeable of her. I mean, I know like the basics of her character and background, but that's kind of it. Most of my knowledge from her is stuff that I pick up from other comics that she makes an appearance in. So can someone explain to me if, since we can't see her forehead because she's always wearing this golden tiara, is Wonder Woman's forehead branded? Or is this just something that they created just for this series? Because at first I thought maybe this was a dream, but I think this is supposed to be like this really happened to her. Because she doesn't gasp and wake up or anything like that. She gets branded, and then it literally cuts to present day where like it's kind of focused on her forehead somewhat. So I'm wondering, is this like a canon thing? Is she branded canon, or is that just because I want to say I've seen her in civilian clothing before, and I don't know if she had a tiara or not, but I want to say that I don't remember a brand on her forehead. Maybe it was just for this, in which case is Justice League Dark considered canon with the rest of the universe, or is it not? Anyways, we start off in the Hall of Justice basement, I guess the headquarters for the Justice League Dark, where we see them fighting off these humans that were killed because their magic turned against them, and now there are these kind of Lovecraftian, demonic-looking creatures brought back to life. It actually looks kind of cool. I'm like a fan of like the horror stuff and things like that. But yeah, for anyone who doesn't know, like here's our Justice League team. We got Diana, we got Zatanna, we got Man-Bats, we got Swamp Thing, and we got Detective Chimp, who is my favorites in this group. I said it last time, but I am a little about Diana being the leader of the group, just because I don't really associate her with magic. I know she uses like items that have magic, and I know she comes from a land that has magic and stuff like that, but I don't really associate Wonder Woman with magic. I associate her with like the Justice League and the Trinity and all that stuff. So I would have preferred Constantine, kind of like he was in the 52. If not, then maybe Zatanna. She seems like she's the most knowledgeable in magic within the group. But yeah, so basically, Wonder Woman goes after Zatanna after the battle is done, and just basically asks her to explain. Like you say that humankind stole magic, that its owners are coming back. Basically, what has happened is there was a breach in the outer wall. I don't remember what it was called. The wall that kind of holds the universes intact. The wall that was broken at the end of the Dark Metal event. Yeah, part of that wall was broken, and creatures from outside the wall are coming in. And I guess the originators of magic are coming, and they want their magic back, and they're punishing magic users by having the magic turn against them. So To gather more knowledge, they go to the one man who could help them, and that is Dr. Fate. And before we do that, I just gotta talk about this real quick. I mentioned it like in previous videos, but I'm not looking forward to this. It could be the greatest Rin event ever, but I am not liking the direction that DC seems to be going in. It really feels like DC is starting to punch into New 52 territory. And from what I've heard about Dan Didio, that's what he wants. He really wants to bring DC Comics back to the New 52, and that is really, really bad. There's a reason New 52 failed, and there's a reason Rebirth did so good. I'm getting kind of tired of these comics and these events that are just really dark and gritty. And I know it's funny coming from me who loved the Dark Knight's Metal, but Dark Knight's Metal was fine. I don't want every event to be like Dark Knight's Metal, though. Dark Knight's Metal was cool, but it ended. Now I would prefer sticking away from events for at least another year. But if you're going to do an event, at least have it be more faithful to the Rebirth tone, the early Rebirth tone, and less New 50. Or like, it feels like everything's just getting really dark and gritty, and I feel like DC hasn't learned their lesson from their TV, from their movies, or the cinematic universe. Their cinematic universe sucks. Like, other than Wonder Woman, their movies have been terrible, and it's because everything's so dark and gritty. Everything is basically Batman tone, and we don't need that. There's a reason why Marvel does so good, and it's because it's lighthearted, it's colorful, it's a group of superheroes going on adventures. Even Infinity War, which had like half the universe get killed, wasn't like super dark and gritty. It was still colorful. There's still a lot of humor in it. You had your seriousness, but you had your comedy to kind of offset it a little bit. That's kind of what Rebirth was, and now it feels like it's just straying from that. Now we have an event where we have superheroes suffering from PTSD and other psychological issues, and I don't care. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see heroes suffering. There's a reason why heroes are so great, because they're supposed to be like paragons of virtue that we look up to. Why do I want to see a superhero who's just an ordinary dude that's like suffering from ordinary problems? There's nothing super entertaining about that. But then again, it's not just this event. I mean, you got Bendis just destroying Superman. You got Tom King wussing out Batman. Wonder Woman is going down a terrible direction. The new writer is not going to help. Aquaman, which was actually pretty cool under Dan Abnett. I will say that the last event where Aquaman was trying to overthrow the king, I forgot his name, Roth or something like that, that dragged on for way too long. But I think that was just because it was supposed to coincide with Mira, which, yeah, not a good idea. But that event took forever. But other than that, I mean, it was a good series. But now it's going to be, I think it's going to be written by the lady who did Mockingbird. Ask me about my feminist agenda. Really? I mean, those are your main heroes. When people think DC, they think the Justice League, they think Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman, Aquaman, Flash, and you're ruining it. Flash so far has been pretty okay. It's been pretty decent. No complaints there, but Aquaman's going to get ruined. Wonder Woman's already terrible. Superman's bad. Batman is bad. Batgirl's terrible. Mr. Miracle started off good, then got really boring, but now it's starting to pick up. Hawkman has been amazing, though. At least that's something. But, God, it really saddens me. Because DC was doing so great. And now it's just, it feels like once Bendis came in, it just started going in this terrible direction. I'm not blaming it all on Bendis. I do think Bendis is kind of a bit of a Trojan horse. Like, I think he came in with the promise of not being like he was in Marvel, and then as soon as he had his foot in the door, he completely destroyed that promise. And I don't know if it's him that brought in some of these SJW writers, but I mainly blame Dan Didio, not only for hiring Bendis, but just for the terrible direction that he's taking this universe in. Like I said, it feels like it's going New 52 territory. And that's not good. So yeah, they arrive at the Tower of Fate, and Swamp Thing goes to do his own thing because he basically he feels something wrong with the Tree of Wonder, so he goes to investigate. And before we continue, I will say this looks pretty interesting. It's a 3-issue event. The artwork looks really good, and yes, these are the interiors. Because there was a teaser, and I forgot what issue. There was might have been multiple series, but there was a teaser that I saw last week. Or was it the week before? The week before. They had like 2 or 3 pages of this, and it looked pretty good. The price though is, I think it's like $9.99 or something. It's pretty freaking expensive though. So yeah, they go to see Dr. Fate, and Dr. Fate says that Wonder Woman and Zatanna can come, but Man-Bat and Detective Chimp have to stay behind, so they do. And meanwhile, with Swamp Thing, we get Constantine. Constantine, basically, he just shows up for 2 pages. And just like in the last issue, he only showed up for 2 pages, which is really sad. I want John Constantine to lead the group, like he did in New 52. Just because when I think Magic and DC, the first thing I think of is John Constantine. I don't think of Wonder Woman. I just don't. I don't have anything against Wonder Woman. I'm not the biggest fan of her. Then again, I'm not the biggest fan of any of the Trinity characters. Don't care for Batman, Superman, or Wonder Woman. Cyborg is me. I haven't really read anything from him that I enjoyed. Flash is kind of cool though. Martian Manhunter, I haven't read anything really with him, so I don't have an opinion of him whatsoever. But I don't know. I want Constantine. I mean, there's also the bias of he's one of my top 5 favorite comic book characters ever, so you know, there's that. What is up with these Bendis advertisements? So you get this one, and then we also have this one. Every single DC comic I pick up has like 3 different advertisement for Bendis stories. It's Bendis stories, and it's the Heroes in Crisis. I always see Heroes in Crisis, which makes sense. It's an event, so okay. I'll expect that. But why do we always get Bendis series advertised in DC comic issues? Like, why aren't you showing advertisements for Red Hood and the Outlaws, which is an amazing series? Not really liking the direction it's going in the last issue, but it's been so awesome so far. It's like the best thing out of DC at the moment. We never see any advertisements for Aquaman, which is coming to an end before a new writer takes over. I never see any advertisements for Wonder Woman. I mean, she's supposed to be like one of the main 3, right? It's just, I never see any advertisements for anything other than Heroes in Crisis, which is an event, and Bendis stuff. And not even like Bendis Superman, but Bendis side stories, or these like original characters. I don't care. I don't care about any of this. It's just weird. It's just something that I've noticed. But yeah, basically Dr. Fate just kind of talks about the history of magic, all of these powerful magical humans who created the Lords of Order, and their power was unspeakable, and their bodies couldn't contain it, so they had to put some of their power into mystical items, including the Dr. Fate helmet. And yeah, basically, he's just kind of telling us stuff like the walls of reality have like weakened, and the creatures beyond the wall can feel it, and this pure primal void is coming, and basically Earth has been sick for a very long time because of humans abusing magic. And yeah, I'm not gonna say anything else because I don't want to spoil it, but it's pretty awesome. I do kind of like this. I like how like it looks sideways and he looks front, but then you can kind of turn it. Yeah, I don't know. It's just, I thought that was just like a little cool panel. But yeah, I'm not going to spoil the rest, but this is good so far. I really enjoy it. So that's Justice League Dark issue number 2. Hope you guys like it. If you guys haven't, please subscribe, hit the bell for notification, leave a like, leave a comment, share this channel because I would like it to grow. But yeah, highly recommend Justice League Dark. Hope you guys enjoyed this review, and I hope to see you guys next time. Later.